Good Thursday, everyone, and thanks for stopping by GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, your source for weather information for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with the video forecast analysis discussion for Thursday, the 14th of November, 2013. Start things out this morning with a few low temperature records here, not records, but low temperatures this morning in Sussex County at Walpack at 16, up there at High Point State Park at 25. Temperatures down in southern Morris County and Basking Ridge at 21 this morning, Nekong at 27, and we had, I believe this is Hackettstown at 21. Other temperature lows this morning in the upper 20s to lower 30s right along the immediate coast. Surface observations this morning just before sunrise show that the winds are already backing around to the west, and that's going to make for moderation in temperatures this morning and throughout this afternoon. Temperatures already rising from their minimums this morning. We're now into the upper 20s and low to mid 30s across the region, with the winds out of the west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Some stations reporting a little higher gust out here, but the winds have subsided and most of them are out of the west, which means moderation is on the way and sunshine will reign supreme during today. Watch its warnings and advisories under this mostly clear skies this morning. From Little Egg Harbor up to Sandy Hook, we have small craft advisories until 6 o'clock this evening for those west winds at 20 to 25 knots and seas averaging 2 to 4 feet. And for western Long Island Sound, all the way out towards Fire Island, we have small craft advisories until 6 a.m. on Friday morning for those west winds at 20 to 25 knots with some choppy seas out to 20 nautical miles of 2 to 4 feet. And for the aviational deck this morning and throughout the next couple of days, we have generally VFR conditions. MVFR to IFR conditions will be reintroduced to the terminals later Sunday through Monday, with rain chances increasing. At a Newark airport this morning, we have a few clouds, mostly cloudy skies. The clouds are high variety at 25,000 feet. The altimeter is 30.25 inches. Temperature is at freezing, 32 this morning and rising. And for this afternoon, we have basically some high cloudiness scattered around the region at 25,000 feet. The winds veering around to the west-southwest at 11 gusting to 18 knots and up to 22 knots this afternoon, as well as a low-level jet of warm air moves over the region. And then the winds begin to die off from the southwest at less than 10 knots late tonight and tomorrow morning, with a few scattered clouds of the mid and upper level variety. Out for Philadelphia this morning, we already have temperature of 35 under mostly cloudy skies, and the skies are broken at scattered rather at 18,000, scattered at 25,000. These are high level clouds. Temperatures at 35, and we have just a few scattered clouds of the high variety this afternoon. The winds out of the southwest and west actually gusting at up to 18 knots this afternoon as the low level jet comes through, and then the winds die out of the southwest at less than 10 knots tonight, with some high level scattered clouds through tomorrow morning. Generally VFR conditions. Visible satellite view as the sun's coming up this morning. We can see the cold air in place still with the striation of the low-level cloud cover as it makes its way out over the ocean. Temperatures this morning recuperating from the upper 20s to in the mid-30s before sunrise. And we have a few scattered clouds of the mid and high level variety this morning. Looking at the water vapor, it's pretty bone dry as well. Moisture in a few areas here, mid and upper level clouds, as the content of the air becomes a little bit more moisture today as the winds veer around to the west-southwest. High pressure is in control, and we absolutely see nothing going on the radar as expected with high pressure over the top of us. Morning surface analysis from WeatherRoanoke.com and Digital Atmosphere Software shows the high pressure ridge over Mississippi here, and getting into the Carolinas, and the isobars here all packed with west to southwest flow at the surface, and this means moderating temperatures and even moderating dew points throughout today, but still bone dry. Lots of sunshine. Temperatures already recuperating under that westerly flow into the upper 30s and getting into the lower 40s within the next couple of hours as well. Latest NAMWRF composite reflectivity from Penn State's EWAL site shows the scattered high clouds across the region. Most of the day will be mostly sunny with moderating temperatures as the winds become west, but there'll be an introduction on this afternoon and into the evening of some scattered high and mid-level variety clouds at about 20 to 25,000 feet as that westerly wind gets a little gusty this afternoon as the low-level jet increases and then moves through the region this evening. Skies become generally clear, And we'll have some scattered to high middle variety clouds around the region early tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, as well as the warm air continues to move in. Now, the NAM model is a little faster in bringing in the warm air advection and some light rain around here, probably during Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. Now, the NAM model brings the precipitation in a little quicker across coastal New Jersey, central and southern New Jersey on Saturday morning. And the GFS is a little slower with this and then moves that warm burst out into the ocean south and east of Long Island, with cloud cover remaining over the region on Saturday morning and Saturday evening. This is a little faster than earlier indication, and that may mean that the atmosphere is moistening up just a little bit quicker than expected, but most of the weekend should be mainly dry until around Saturday night and Sunday morning, when rain chances really increase ahead of a cold front back to the west and strong low pressure from the central plains going into Atlantic, going into the Great Lakes and southeastern Canada. So we're going to be monitoring this situation. It's not a washout on Saturday, but the NAM model is indicating a quicker response to some of that warm air advective rain showers moving through the region on Saturday. Latest northeast surface information and modeling here from the GFS from the College of DuPage NEXT Lab. Basically, high pressure in control of the region with a west wind across the region, moderating temperatures over the next 24 to 48 hours. The GFS model indicates a little bit further east progression here with the warm air advective shower activity missing the coast. The NAM model wants to get it into the coastal regions on Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon, but the GFS from this morning's run keeps it basically offshore and keeps most of the precipitation to our west and southwest ahead of a strong cold front that will be moving through the region during Monday morning and Monday afternoon, and that will lead to periods of rain across the region on Monday and Monday evening as the cold front moves through. The winds will veer around back to the northwest with a cold shot coming in on Monday night, early Tuesday, Tuesday night, and early Wednesday, with generally high pressure in control across the Great Lakes, building in across the forecast region early on Tuesday and Wednesday, cresting over the New England, Middle Atlantic states, with the winds veering from the north eventually to the east again as we get into Wednesday afternoon. And that onshore flow will increase the moisture across the Mid-Atlantic region. The GFS modeling takes some of that moisture and brings it into the southern Mid-Atlantic and eventually the northern Mid-Atlantic region across the region later next week with an east wind. And we could see still some moisture along the immediate coast or just offshore, with precipitation remaining over those regions. Basically a very benign weather pattern, a very progressive one over the next several days into next week as well, with a cold shot coming in early next week and then moderating temperatures once again. This is the 500 millibar vorticity and also heights and winds across the region forecasted from the GFS off the morning run this morning into next week. We can see the progression of the trough off the coast with ridging building in across the mid-Atlantic and eastern United States coast. Notice the high pressure system here off the Pacific here, and low pressure here off the northern Pacific and south of the Aleutian Islands and the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to keep a strong Pacific jet moving in, which will mean that the amplification of these troughs will not be as deep, and more of a zonal flow will keep troughs and everything moving along, weather systems moving along with the general moderation in temperature. Early next week, we see the trough carving out next Wednesday. Look at this mild air coming in for early next week, and then cold front comes through, and a very strong area of colder weather actually makes its way through from the Great Lakes all the way to the northern New England, mid-Atlantic coast states early next week, and then a moderation in temperature once again as the Pacific floods the United States with moderating temperatures and basically west to east flow across the region. One thing of note I also want to mention is the fire weather hazards for today. Even relative humidities coming out to the upper 20s and lower 30s, and dew points rising a little bit today. The gusty westerly winds this afternoon and the very dry ground will make for aerosol spraying and everything else that causes fires and to become a hazard during this afternoon as the winds continue to be an issue as well. So be mindful of that while burning any kind of brush outside. For Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. I'll be back bright and early with you on Friday morning with the latest weather details for the weekend and next week.